tang going. Same judge. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Maya Fey. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Miles Edgeworth. Better not show any signs of weakness today, or he'll be on me in an instant. Mr. Edgeworth, please give the court your opening statement. Thank you, Your Honor. The defendant, Miss Maya Fey, was at the scene of the crime. The prosecution has evidence she committed this murder. We have a witness who saw her do it. The prosecution sees no reason to doubt the facts of this case, Your Honor. I see. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Let's begin, then. If we may call our first witness, Your Honor, the prosecution calls the chief officer of the scene, Detective Gumshoe. Witness, please state your name and profession to the court. Sir, my name is Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm the detective in charge of homicides down at the precinct, sir. Detective Gumshoe, please describe for us the details of this murder. Very well, sir. Let me use this floor map of the office to explain. The body was found by this window here. And the cause of death? Loss of blood due to being struck by a blunt object, sir. The murder weapon was a statue of the thinker found next to the body, sir. It was heavy enough to be a deadly weapon, even in a girl's hands, sir. The court accepts the statue as evidence. They're still calling it a statue. Floor plans added. Now, detective. Yes, sir. You immediately arrested Miss Maya Fey, who was found at the scene, correct? Can you tell me why? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I had hard evidence she did it, sir. Detective Gumshoe, please testify to the court about this hard evidence. As soon as the phone call came in, I rushed to the scene. There were two people there already. The defendant, Miss Maya Fey, and the lawyer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I immediately arrested Miss Maya Fey. Why? We had a witness account describing her. The witness saw Miss Maya Fey at the very moment of the murder. The very moment, you say. Very well. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. All right, time to bring the ruckus. Cross-examine what? I couldn't see a single contradiction in testimony. I saw the contradiction. We saw Home Chick Slice because we took her out of the room and put her on the couch. I remember that. Whoosh, smack. Hey, Maya just threw something at me. What's this? My sister couldn't find any contradictions in a witness's testimony. She would bluff it and press the witness on every detail. The witness always slips up and says something wrong. It worked lots of times. Should have expected Maya would know some of her sister's tricks. Alright, let's give this a try. Something the matter? Like, how is she supposed to throw a note and nobody noticed that? No, Your Honor. I'd like to begin my cross-examination. We gotta contain the clock, or that clock. It has consumed too many lives. So far, 2 lives. As soon as the cell phone came in, I rushed to the scene. Who did you say you got a call from? Hey, pal, don't play dumb. You know who. The call was from a customer at the Gatewater Hotel, right across from the crime scene. Okay, I pressed. Not sure it did much, though. Right, please continue. There were 2 people there already. Guess I don't need to present or press that. Defendant Miss Maya Fey and the lawyer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Are you absolutely sure it was us? Listen, pal, your dumb act will only get you so far. With her funky hippie clothes and your spiky hair, you two stand out like suspicious people at a crime scene. Well, he does have a point about her. She is pretty unmistakable. Should pick my points to press with a little more care. I immediately arrested Maya Fey. That's not true. Why is that? What's your reason? Why? We had a witness account describing her. The witness saw Miss Maya Fey at the very moment of the murder. I can see a single contradiction there. I see the contradiction. I just have to take Maya's advice and press him on anything suspicious. That was suspicious. As soon as the phone call came in, I rushed to the scene. I mean, I don't see anything bad about just pressing everything, so I'm just gonna keep pressing. Who did you say you got a call from? Hey pal, don't play dumb. You know who. Call was from a customer at the Gatewater Hotel, right across from the crime scene. Okay. There were 2 people there already. The defendant, this one, whatever. I immediately arrested Maya. Nothing bad with pressing everything? Okay, cool. Why? We had a witness account describing her. Hold on just 1 second. Yeah? If I heard correctly, you said you arrested her because you had hard evidence she did it, correct? Huh? Did I say that? Me? I heard you say it. You did say it. You said it. Exactly what about the suspicious woman in pink's claim was hard evidence? What? Miss May isn't suspicious, and she sure isn't pink, pal. Well, I guess she is pink. That's enough, Detective Gumshoe. Do you have any more solid proof other than her claims, Detective? I guess pressing can have its advantages. Yes. Sorry, I got the order of things mixed up in my testimony, Your Honor, sir. There was something I should have told you about first, Your Honor. Very well, Detective. Let's hear your testimony again. After securing the suspect, I examined the scene of the crime with my own eyes. I found a memo written on a piece of paper next to the victim's body. On it, the word Maya was written clearly in blood. Lab test results showed that the blood was the victim's. Also, there was blood found on the victim's finger. Before she died, the victim wrote the killer's name. I got this one. I got this one. How you like that? That's my hard evidence. Before we begin cross-examination, I have a question for you, Detective. Your Honor, why didn't you testify about this vital piece of evidence the first time? I know. I'm real embarrassed I forgot about it, Your Honor, sir. Try to be more careful. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. I got this. Securing the suspect, I examined the scene of the crime with my own eyes. On a memo written on a piece of paper next to the victim's body. On it, the word Maya was written clearly in blood. Lab test resulted on the victim's. Okay. Also, there was blood found on the victim's finger. Got it. Before she died, the victim wrote the killer's name. I don't know if I want to present or press first, but I want to present because I think I got this. Detective Gumshoe, there's one thing I want you to clarify for me here. Say that the victim, Mia Fey, wrote this note. That she was accusing the defendant, Maya Fey. That's really what you're saying. What? This isn't one of those lawyer tricks now, is it? Of course she wrote the note. Who else could have? You have it backwards, Detective. Backwards? The victim is the only person who absolutely could not have written it. This is a report from your department, Detective. Immediate death due to a blow from a blunt object. She died immediately. But no butting your way out of this one, Detective. Order, order. The defense has a point. Someone who died immediately wouldn't have had the time to write anything down. Mr. Wright, I beg your pardon, but when exactly did you obtain that autopsy report? When? Dang. It wasn't the day of the murder. It had to be the day after the murder. It was the day after the murder. Prosecution's point being, that autopsy report is outdated, Your Honor. What? A second autopsy was performed yesterday at my request. Death was almost immediate due to a blow from a blunt object. But there was a possibility the victim lived for several minutes after the blow. I received these results this morning. No way. Your Honor, it's quite easy to imagine that the victim did have time to write Maya. That is all. See, darn you, Edgeworth. Should have known you'd have something up your sleeve. Oh boy. Why, Mr. Wright? You look shocked. Something you want to say? I'm a sham. I don't want to say any of these things. I'm a respectable lawyer, you know? I can handle this. Ace Attorney, one of your all-time favorite games. Don't mind you as you're randomly browsing Twitch. Not a problem, Road. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I don't want to say any of these things. You're a sham, Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth, heard there's nothing you won't do to get your verdict. What reason could you possibly have to request a second autopsy report? Mr. Wright, the defense will refrain from personal attacks on the prosecution. No matter, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, say what you will, the evidence in this report is undeniable. Your Honor, I submit this report to the court. Understood. The court accepts the evidence. Hey, that sucks for me. Well, Your Honor, the evidence strongly suggests the victim was identifying the killer. I suppose that's the obvious conclusion, yes. Darn, this isn't good. Prosecution would like to call its next witness. This poor innocent girl saw the murder with her own eyes. Let the witness, Miss April May, take the stand. Exactly what part of her is innocent? Oh boy. Witness, your name, please. April May, at your service. Order. An introduction should not require any reaction from the crowd. The witness will refrain from wanton winking. Yes, Your Honor. This is not good. He's already captured the heart of every man in this courtroom. Tell us, where were you on the night of September 5th when the murder occurred? Gee, I was like in my hotel room. I checked in right after lunch. And this hotel is directly across from the Fay & Co. law offices. That's right, big boy. Please testify to the court about what you saw. Oh boy. It was like 9 o'clock at night. I looked out the window, you know. And then, ooh, I saw a woman with long hair being attacked. The one attacking her was the mousy girl sitting in the defendant's chair. Then the woman, dodged to one side and ran away. But that girl, she caught up to her and she hit her. Then the woman with the long hair, she kind of slumped. The end. That's all I saw. Every little bitsy witsy. Why'd they have to do that? Well, Your Honor, I see. It is a remarkably solid testimony. I don't see a need to trouble the witness any... Wait, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Wright? What about my cross-examination? Thought the witness's testimony just now was quite firm, didn't you? Mr. Wright, I understand you were Miss Mia Fey's understudy, were you not? You must know her techniques well. Her cowardly way of finding tiny faults in perfectly good testimonies. Hey, how dare you? Well, Mr. Wright, will you cross-examine the witness? Absolutely. I'll gladly proceed with the cross-examination, only because I have a feeling Edgeworth doesn't want me to. She has to have some weakness. Very well, you may begin your cross-examination. You played this when the graphics were all pixelated and stuff? You missed the creative people's names the game had? I kind of wish I had the pixelated graphics. So let's see. Let's just press everything. Why did you do that? Why? Like, why what? Why did you look out the window? Were you expecting to see something? Oh, well, gee. That's it? She can't get out of this question that easily. I sort of, you know... I had a feeling. Well, I have a feeling she's trying to avoid the question. Maybe I should press a little harder on this one. Go for it. Let's see how far I can run with this. Surely you must have had a reason to look out your window at that time of night. Mr. Wright, I will not have you badgering my witness. Badgering? You insist on needling her with these trivial questions. I really don't think it should be allowed. Wow, yeah, stop him? Poor girl. Order. Mr. Wright, you have been warned. Poor girl? What about poor me? Looked out the window. What did you see next? And then, ooh, I saw a woman with long hair being attacked. Oh, I can't see people anymore. Go ahead and keep pressing. Woman with long hair. That was Mia Fey. Slender, sort of. Well, some people might say pretty, if that's your thing. Your thing? And the person attacking her? One attacking her was the mousy girl sitting in the defendant's chair. How do you know she was the defendant? Well, you know. She had a girlish physique. Women know these things. Look, I just know, okay? There was only one person at the scene of the crime with a short, girlish figure. The testimony is bulletproof, Your Honor. That's right. Question the testimony. Hold on a minute. That testimony stinks. What? Miss May, I'm willing to bet that... I didn't really want to go this route. I'm already warned. Saw nothing? I mean, I guess both of these are the same thing. So, you saw nothing. Did you really see the defendant at all? Mr. Wright, what's the meaning of this? Yes, what is the meaning? Somebody tell me because I'm clueless. About this, I mean. Okay. If you had really witnessed my client, Maya Fey, you would have noticed her clothes before noticing her physique. Oh, there we go. No one wears clothes like this on a daily basis except her. And I'm no expert on fashion, but her hairdo looks far from normal to me. However, the witness's testimony mentions neither of these things. The testimony is bogus. But still, we don't know if she was dressed that way the night of the murder. She was, Your Honor. I saw her. And so did Detective Gumshoe. What do you say to that, Miss May? Rawr. What are you trying to say, you mean lawyer? I saw what I saw. I just didn't think all the trifling little details were necessary, darling. Miss May, the court would like to remind you to please omit nothing in your testimony. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'll be a good girl, I promise. Hey, he said no winking. Your testimony again, if you would. Darn, I almost had her. I did see everything, I did. The victim, the woman, dodged the first attack and ran off to the right. Then the girl in the hippie clothes ran after her. And she hit her with that weapon. I saw it, I did. That clock. The kind of statuey clock? The thinker, I think. Well, does the accuracy of my report not startle you? I see. I only wish you had been so detailed from the beginning. Please begin the cross-examination. Okay. I wasn't expecting him to go that route, but good on you, man, for you know, noticing the clothes. You know, the clothes do not let the physique kind of shine. I did see everything I did. Do I... we'll let that one go. Victim, the woman, dodged the first attack and ran off to the right. Is that right as in your right, as you look from the hotel? Which hand do I hold my knife in again? Right, it was my right hand, right? Satisfied, Mr. Wright? Please continue. And the girl in the hippie clothes ran after her. I'll keep pressing. How convenient for you to remember her hippie clothes. That's what she was wearing. Oh, and her hair was all done up like a bun. What happened then? And she hit her with that weapon. I saw it, I did. Where did this weapon come from? You picked it up from the desk. I see. What sort of weapon was it? That clock, the kind of statuey clock. The thinker, I think. A clock? Didn't this come up in another testimony recently? Yup. Well, don't look so sour, Mr. Lawyer. You can't win them all. No, but I have a feeling I'm onto something now. A clock, the statuey clock. The thinker. Go ahead and present it. Miss May, what you said just now was quite revealing. Revealing? Ooh, you'd like that, wouldn't you? Naughty Mr. Lawyer. You said that this statue of the thinker was a clock, but there's no way of knowing that just by looking at it. Another person in much the same position as you recently called this a clock too. He was found guilty of murder. Order. Miss May, can you explain how you know this was a clock? Uh-oh. Witness saw the murder with her own eyes. That's all that's important here. The defense is trying to confuse the issue with trivial concerns. Yes, of course. You will withdraw your question, Mr. Wright. What? Yeah, object! But questions are all I have, Your Honor. And as you may recall, I've caught murderers with these questions before. Well, only once. Objection sustained. You may continue to question the witness. Yeah! That was close. If he stopped me there, the trial would be over. What? So, what happens now? What happens now is you answered my question. How did you know it was a clock? What? That's... because I heard it? Yes. I heard it say the time. So you've been to the law offices of Fay & Co.? No. Hey, I didn't say that. Why would I go there? I heard it from my hotel room. The law offices of Fay & Co., where the murder took place, is very close to the hotel. She could easily have heard the clock. Well, Mr. Wright, are you satisfied? No. No, Your Honor. Can't give up now. I'm not satisfied because it couldn't have rung because they took out the mechanisms. Your Honor, members of the court, it is inconceivable that the clock in question rang. It's empty. That clock is missing its clockwork. How could you possibly? Just take a look right now. Oh, see anything interesting, Your Honor? It is as the defense says. This clock is missing its clockwork. It's quite empty. Mr. Wright, would you care to explain to the court the meaning of this? It is as you can see, the clock was empty. It couldn't have rung. Therefore, this witness is a big fat liar. Fat? Well, Miss May? Uh-oh. Quite a show you put on for us, Mr. Wright. He knew the clock was empty. Somehow, he knew. I'm afraid you've forgotten one thing, however. Indeed, the clock is empty. As you say, it can't ring. However, we must ask, when was the clockwork removed? If it was after the witness heard the clock, then there is no contradiction. Oh, I got this. I still got this. That's true. That is a possibility. The clock might have been emptied after she heard it. And that is exactly what happened, Your Honor. Well, Mr. Wright, can you prove when the clockwork was removed? Oh, yes, I can. You ain't gonna get me, sucker. Impossible, of course. I have proof. What? Wasn't it you who told me proof is everything? Well, I was listening. And now I'll show you the proof you like so much. The evidence that proves when the clockwork was removed. Blood-ow. Take that! Take a look at this. That's a very cute cell phone. You have a girly phone. Wait. This isn't my phone. Listen. This is the defendant's cell phone, and it contains a recording. A recording of a conversation she had with the victim on the day of the murder. Order. The defendant's cell phone. This wasn't brought to my attention. Perhaps Detective Gumshoe overlooked it. The good detective better remember he's up for evaluation soon. I gotta say, I'm starting to feel bad for the big fella. Let's hear the conversation. So you just want me to hold on to the thinker for you then? If you could. I should probably tell you, the clock isn't talking right now. Huh? It's not working? There's a helicopter. It's not working? That's lame. I had to take the clockwork out. Sorry. September 5th, 9:27 a.m. Your Honor, I think this makes it clear the clockwork was already gone by the time this was recorded. Which was well before the witness even arrived at her hotel. Well, Miss May, would you care to explain this to the court? Just how did you know that weapon was a clock? Well, isn't it obvious? I saw that clock before. What store was that again? I go to so many. Oops, I forgot. If the witness had seen it before, that would make sense. No, you ain't gonna catch me on that. I ain't falling for it. Does the defense have any objections, Mr. Wright? Yes, I do. Witness claims she had seen it before. This directly contradicts a piece of evidence already submitted to this court. Well then, let's see it. Please produce this evidence that will prove the witness had not seen it. I guess we gotta present the actual, whatchamacallit. It's simple. This clock was never in any store. Ever. What? A friend of mine made that clock. Only two exist in the world. And the one that isn't here is in police custody. Impossible. Everything is sold in stores. Miss May, I think it's high time you went shopping for a better excuse. Ooh, I like that. Oh, excuse is not on sale today? Oh, okay, keep going. Got her. Why they gotta do that? What's it to you, porcupine head? That stupid clock doesn't matter, okay? She did it, and she should die for it. Die. Whoa, let's not get ahead of ourselves. This is a court of law, and the witness will remain calm. Oh. Silly me. Did I, like, lose it? I guess I did. Hey, stop winking. Jerry. Miss May, let me ask. Tell me, how did you know the weapon was a clock? Oh dear. Does the defense have an opinion on this behavior? Okay, this is it. Yes, Your Honor. Allow me to explain how I see the truth of the matter. Miss April May, you knew the weapon was a clock because you had heard about it. The witness had never held the clock in her hand. However, she had heard that it was a clock. She heard? That is correct, Your Honor. There is no other way she could have known the thinker was a clock. And I can show you the proof. Well, this is interesting. Let's see it then. Show me evidence proving that the witness had heard that the murder weapon was a clock. Wiretap. Have a look at this. That? Found this in Miss May's room. Mr. Wright, please explain to the court what this is. And don't explain how you got this. Miss April May, you were tapping the victim, Miss Mia Fey's phone, were you not? Your Honor, this is irrelevant. I'm not entirely sure that it is. Objection overruled. It troubles me that our witness was in possession of a wiretap. This is outrageous. Does the defense truly claim that the witness was tapping her phone? Absolutely. Even if that was the case, which it's not, you still have to prove one thing. Did the victim ever say that the weapon was a clock on the phone? Can you prove that? I think not. I don't remember the, whatchamacallit. Oh yeah, I think I can. It's simple. What? Here's my proof. Proof that the victim said on the phone. Alright. I need to do this. The clock isn't talking right now. Alright. Had to double check. I present the defendant's cell phone. Yes, we've seen that. Listen once more to the conversation between the defendant and the victim. Mia, what's up? You haven't called in a while. Well, actually, there's something I want you to hold on for me. Again? What's it this time? It's a clock. Made it look like a statue, the thinker, and it tells you the time. Miss April May, you used a wiretap to listen to this conversation. That's how you knew the thinker was a clock. Am I wrong? Oh. Your Honor, this is ridiculous. Your Honor, look at the witness's face. Does she seem amused to you? The defendant, the defense demands an answer. Witness, answer the question. Did you tap her phone? Miss May. Shut up, all of you. What gives you the right to talk to me like that? You lawyer. You look so evil. Oh my goodness. It's no fair, all of you ganging up on me like that. Oh, so I'm the bad girl, is that it? Is that it? Oh boy, now she's crying. To be honest, that was totally crime scene tampering or something like that. Seems like it's overly simplistic for Edgy to say. I don't really know what's going on with this. Like, shouldn't you ask where you got the wiretap? You know, like, or how you found it in her apartment? Like, you shouldn't be digging through her apartment. Like, come on, man. That did it. The court's seen the real Miss April May now. Let's see. It wasn't her, and we know it wasn't her. So why the wiretap? Why did you tap her phone? Answer the question. Do I have to? Isn't this the murder trial? Isn't tippity tapping irrelevant? He's saying exactly what Edgeworth wants her to say. Miss May, you were tapping the victim's phone. I hardly call that irrelevant. While this court does not condone the defense's tone of voice, he has a point. Well, Miss May, do you have an explanation for the court? Can you prove you had nothing to do with this murder, even though you tapped her phone? I'd like to see her pull that off. Mr. Lawyer, I saw that evil, evil grin. You were probably thinking, I'd like to see her pull that off, weren't you? Darn, she's good. Well, you're not the first man who's thought that, and of course, I can and will. You can't be serious, no way. Way, I say, way. Oh, and I assure you, I'm serious, Mr. Lawyer. Okay, so the killing happened around 9 at night. Why, that's just when I was getting room service from that sweet bellboy. Room service? Iced coffee, I believe it was. Iced coffee. You know, like normal coffee, but cold. If you don't drink it quick, the ice melts, and then you have regular cold coffee. Iced coffee? I think I'm making this up. Ask the bellboy. Ergo, the witness was not on the scene at the time of the murder. We weren't implying that she was. So where does that leave us? It is my great displeasure to inform you that the witness appears to have been tapping the victim's telephone. However, that is a separate crime with no bearing on the current case whatsoever. Her testimony stands. She saw the defendant, Maya Fey, commit murder. No, they're going to let her just walk away. There's no way I can win this unless I tie Miss May to the murder somehow. Well, does the defense have anything to say? Well, come on, think of something. I don't think I have anything. At the moment. Pronounce G ganging up. You missed the first G. Oh goodness. You prefer cold coffee than iced coffee? I don't really drink coffee that much, but when I do, like 90% like French vanilla. I know. I'm crazy. And thank you for the follow, Tara J. Appreciate that. I don't think I have anything here that's going to help me out. So I think I'm going... I don't know if cross-examining is going to help that much. The bellboy as a witness seems pretty risky. You're just pretending you don't know all the answers? I don't know either. I think I can get something from the floor plan. I might be able to get the bellboy to contradict the time. We'll call him as a witness, and hopefully I can go back to cross-examining April May. The defense would like to call the hotel bellboy as a witness. There's something suspicious here, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it. I think you've sunken quite low enough already. I object to calling the bellboy. Why? What's your reason? Because I hold that the wiretapping had nothing to do with the killing. However, if you agree to one condition, I'll consent to calling this witness. Condition? If Miss April May's alibi is not called into question after you examine the bellboy, then you will recognize that Miss April May was not the killer, thus she is innocent. I'm okay with this because we have metagame knowledge that she's not the killer. We know it's a guy. So I'm okay with her not being the killer. I'm okay with this. And thereby, you must also accept the verdict of guilty for Miss Maya Fey. You can get so far in Phoenix Wright just on metagaming. That is my condition. What? Better find something suspicious in that bellboy's testimony. Otherwise, Maya will be declared guilty on the spot. What should I do? It's interesting. We have very little evidence to that ties the guy to this murder. We know there was a second person at the hotel room, and we probably know that the bellboy knows that, but let's accept the condition. I think we got this. All right, I've got nothing to lose except for, well, everything. Understood. I accept your condition. Ooh. You fell right into my trap. Uh-oh. Wait. Very well. I feel like this would never work in an actual court of law. Like, you object to that, and then the judge is like, nah, dog. I'm letting this one stand. Call the bellhop. Can you object to calling witnesses? Come on, man. Court calls the hotel bellboy to the stand. I believe we're ready for the witness to testify. He certainly does look like a bellboy. Why is he still carrying that? Yes, sir. I received your summons in the middle of work, sir. I'm happy to be of service. That tea set looks rather heavy. So without further ado, the witness may begin his testimony. Very good, sir. And yeah, the game gives me the information about the guy was the killer. It happened in the first case too. I knew who killed the person. I just don't have any like identifying markers of that person. So I have to find a way to tie that person to the case by finding the holes and you know, like the links in the chain or whatever. I am the head bellboy at the fine Gatewater Hotel in business for 4 generations. I believe I received a call after 8 in the evening from our guest, Miss May. There's a contradiction right there. She asked for an iced coffee to be brought to her at 9 on the dot, sir. Okay, never mind. I brought it to her at precisely the requested time, of course. Let's see. There's no time of death on this autopsy report. Unfortunately. The other one did have one, though. And I delivered the iced coffee to our guest, Miss May herself. I see. The defense may begin its cross-examination. Right. I'm ready, I hope. This is it. If I can't prove Miss May was involved with the murder now, Maya will be finished. All right. It even comments on that, the dark age of law, where the real trials aren't a thing anymore. I'm the head bellboy at the fine blah blah for 4 generations. I don't think I need to press this, but I'm gonna press it. What exactly is it you do at the hotel? Why, anything required of me, sir. I check in guests, and I check out guests. I clean rooms, I make beds. I even deliver room service, sir. I check Miss May in personally. Are you always so prim? Mr. Wright, you will refrain from asking frivolous questions. I believe I received a call after 8 in the evening from our guest, Miss May. Are you sure it was Miss May on the phone? Absolutely, sir. How can you be so certain? I checked Miss May in personally, sir. Not only did I see her in all her stunning radiance, but I also heard her voice. And then I saw them, and I... The point being, I remembered her quite well, sir. Yes, what then? She asked for an iced coffee to be brought to her at 9 on the dot, sir. 9 on the dot, you say? Yes, I confirmed that detail several times. She was watching a program on the TV and wished to drink after she finished, sir. 9, the time of the murder. Brought it to her at precisely the requested time, of course. Precisely 9, then. Precisely, exactly, and almost, definitely, sir, 9 p.m. How can you be so sure? Miss May was quite insistent that it be brought then. Oh, bellboy, tee-hee. I'd like iced coffee at exactly 9. Something like that, sir. Therefore, I knocked on her door at the crack of 9, sir. Why would she be so particular about the time? And I delivered the iced coffee to our guest, Miss May herself. You are sure it was... No, come on, man. Absolutely, sir. Absolutely? Yes, sir. As in, so very absolutely, sir. It's an endearing mannerism of mine. How come you're so very certain? Well, when I brought the room service, sir, she, the guest, sir, favored me with an embrasser? Sir? Embrasser? Is that French for embrace? French for kiss, sir. But not a French kiss, sir. More of a peck on the cheek. Why would she have done that? I believe perhaps she was momentarily swayed by my prim demeanor, sir. It was a moment I shall never ever forget, sir. Sounds pretty fishy to me. I think our Miss May was up to something and she wanted the bellboy to remember her. No good. There's nothing there. That it? Finally, you understand. This bellboy has absolutely no reason to lie. Now, if you have any decency, you will end this rather tedious cross-examination here. It was a bit tedious. The witness may leave the stand. Can't let this happen, can I? Gotta protest. Wait. Please wait. Yes? Does the defense have something to add? One last question. Let me ask one last question. Your Honor, I must object. The charade of justice has gone on long enough. Now, Mr. Edgeworth. All right, Mr. Wright. I'll give you one more question, that's all. Okay. This is it. This is really it now. This is my last chance. What do I ask him about? Dang it. Alright, so I know someone was there. Save my game? You know what? This is actually... Good on you, Heels, for that. I was actually thinking about that, too. Okay. So... The check-in, he remembers the check-in. And it didn't seem like it was anybody. The room service has to be the best thing because there were 2 glasses that were in the room. So there had to be a point where there were, like, maybe he saw something. I don't think the bed making is going to do anything. And the check-in, we've already kind of went over that. So let's go with room service. Let's see if there's anybody else that was being, she was getting something. Tell me again about room service. Again, sir? At exactly 9, I delivered room service to Miss May in room 303. The guest had requested iced coffee. $18 was the charge, as I recall. I see. $18? Doesn't that seem a bit expensive? Yes, well, iced coffee for 2, you know. And we don't skimp on the ice, sir. What did he say? Got him. What did you say? Ah, oh, rather quite. Bellboy, tell us the truth now. Was someone else staying in Miss May's room? I object. That was objectionable. Objection overruled. The witness will answer the question. Yes, I see. Why did you not mention this in your testimony? Well, sir, you didn't ask. Nice try. That's the sort of thing you're normally supposed to mention. Yes, quite, indeed. It was the good barrister there, Mr. Edgeworth, who... He asked me not to mention it if I wasn't specifically asked, sir. You fool! Get bodied! That is witness tampering. I've done it. I've won. Miss April May checked into a twin room with a man, correct? Yes, sir. Then, when you brought them room service, you didn't see that man in the room. That's right, sir. Your Honor, we have just learned of another person involved who may have been the murderer. In light of this new fact, I hold that it's impossible to judge the defendant. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Edgeworth? And who, Mr. Wright? Who is this other person? Simple. It was... Well, it wasn't the bellboy. It couldn't have been the bellboy. I feel like the man with Miss May is very nebulous. No. We already know. We already know who it was. And it wasn't the bellboy. It was an older guy. I'm gonna go with the man with Miss May. Man who checked in with Miss May. Got him. Your Honor, as has been previously revealed, Miss April May was tapping the victim's phone, yet Miss May herself has an alibi at the time of the murder. However, that does not clear the man that was with her. The bellboy saw no one else in the room at the time of the murder. My, what a convenient little setup, but it's too late. Too late? I suppose you'd like it if it was too late, wouldn't you? After all, it was you who hid the presence of the other man from this court. Aha! Upstart, amateur. These accusations are ludicrous. Enough. The court acknowledges the defense's argument. I expect the prosecution and defense to look into this matter fully. Am I understood? Yes. Yes, Your Honor. That is all today. That is all today. That just reads weird for me. That is all today for the trial of Maya Fey. Court is adjourned. All right. So you're still laughing at that overly used gag at this point? Thanks, 7:45. Mr. Wright, you were amazing in there. Really? Think I might be your newest fan. Oh, I was just doing my job, you know. Then again, that other attorney was pretty cool, too. Huh. That face of his, with his eyes wide and trembling lips. It sent shivers up my spine. If you say so. So what happens with me? Do I get to go home now? Well... No, I don't think so. Not yet. Oh, I see. But I got a great lead in today's trial. A lead? That man with Miss May, he's the key. Oh, I get it. What happened to Miss May after that, anyway? I heard they arrested her. I guess she's learning her charms won't work everywhere. She's probably at the detention center now. I may have to go down there later. Anyway, this case is far from closed. Yes, sir. I'm gonna find out more about this man. Do you think he was the one who... Maybe so. Sis, don't worry. I'll find him by tomorrow. I promise. counting on you. Save? I asked for a full record of April May's testimony. Thought it might come in handy during the trial tomorrow. But now that I have it, I'm not so sure. Most of her testimony was all lies. In fact, there's only one part that hasn't been stricken from the record. Victim dodged an attack, then ran to the right, but she was caught and struck. I don't know how much good this will do me at all now. Anyway, time to hit the pavement and do some investigating. Maya doesn't belong in that detention center, and it's up to me to set her free. Alright. Alright. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Excellent. Overthinking is death. These are the choices that can make you the stupidest person alive? Oh, man. So, let's see. I don't. What overly used gag were you looking at? Was it the objectionable? Because that was kind of funny. So early in the series, time to ship Maya and Edgy. Maya still calls him Mr. Wright. Guess the real trials would take weeks to prepare too. These trials seem to always be on or on the next day of the crime. Oh man. Make sure to play the entire game and all the games. Well, I'm definitely liking this game quite a bit so far. I'm not a visual novel guy at all. But this one might be an exception. I'm kind of enjoying poking holes in, you know, the arguments being made and things like that, and it's nice, you know. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, and Heels did definitely recommend this one. I already mentioned that, you know, I had a feeling that he would be right because his recommendations definitely hold some weight. So yeah, it's 7:49 right now. I could probably finish this case tonight, but you know, I think I'll probably end it here. It's not really a visual novel. It's an actual game. I don't know if I would agree with that. This, at least in my opinion, my definition of a visual novel, this has all the markers of it. There's no real like gameplay. There's choices that you make, and there's definitely clear wrong choices, and some of those choices have multiple options. But for the most part, it's just reading a definite, you know, like story and seeing how it plays out. You can actually lose. Well, I mean, you can lose in visual novels too. I mean, that I don't think that's exclusive to, or not exclusive to, visual novels versus other games. I should probably save just in case like my power goes out or something. Most visual novels branch on choices. Phoenix Wright has right and wrong choices. You think they're different? I'm receiving resistance to this. Maybe my definition of visual novels are maybe a little biased, maybe a little skewed. Because like there was a game that I played, Rage Agant. And that game was very clearly a visual novel. It's marketed as a visual novel. But it did have like gameplay in it. It had dungeon crawling in it. It had monster battles and stuff like that. But it was still marketed as a visual novel. So I kind of take that particular outlook on it. Where like visual novels can have gameplay. Oh, you meant novels? No. I'm talking about like the video game visual novels. Like just purely narrative. Yes. That's where I was going with that. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here for today. I will be back tomorrow, 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific, to continue. Probably trying to knock out day 2 of this case, and yeah, um, should be fun. Having a good time. So yeah, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. See you tomorrow, 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific. Peace.